RDTDaily.com presents a Tarabuster with comedian Tara Devlin.
All right. Hello, welcome back. Welcome back. I don't know. Who am I saying that to? You. Thank you for hanging out. This is unapologetic liberal talk on the right side of history, decency, dignity, democracy, and humanity. I'm just checking everything. Checking the mic. Check, mic, check. All right. Yes, we meet here on, we have our regular Friday night get together. How's it sounding out there? You guys will give me the okay in a minute. So how's it sounding? Good. Okay, yes. We meet here every Friday, but we do a weekday show. Sorry I couldn't do the show yesterday. Try to do it on Wednesdays because it kind of splits up the week. But the fact is I was having internet issues yesterday, and it wasn't my issues. Spectrum kept going down, and it was at 5:00 it went down again. So I was a little bit nervous to start the show and then have it, crap out on us. And it actually did go down later at around 8. So, yeah, it was hit or miss. That's the way Spectrum is. And every time, I don't know, man. I haven't been too impressed with Spectrum. I had RCN once. They sucked too. And I should get Fios because I hear that the fiber, whatever the hell, look at these two. The cats are fighting. Sorry. That is very good. So, but then that'll take me, getting my shit together. Like calling and then having to arrange an appointment and then having them come over and, the whole thing. It's just another thing that I have to do, and it's a pain in the ass. But we'll see how long I can. What I'm really hoping is that Spectrum gets their shit together and maybe tries to compete with what do you call it, with the other ones that are better. I don't know. It sucks. Well, we have very shitty. I don't know if you guys know this. You probably do because you're informed. Unlike the rest of the most of the country, really. But because they don't get out much, and even though I don't get out much either, I read news from other countries, and I'm sure you maybe that we have very shitty internet here in the United States. And like everything else, we pay more and get less. So in other countries, they have true competition, and they pay less and have exceptional service. So, for all the things, for all the whatever the hell, the lies that Republicans go on about free market and all this shit, they don't like the free market. They like monopolies, because we get screwed and we have no alternatives, and the rich get richer. So they get paid, they get these bribes to keep the system, the boot on our necks. So and that's pretty much our discussion today. What I wanted to talk about, I thought, wait, this light's hitting me in the eyes over here, was, if you saw the shit show, the Republicon shit show, it was pretty impressive. I actually watched it on C-SPAN from the beginning to the end, and I thought the Democrats were amazing. They did a great job. There's a lot of MVPs on the Democratic Party team. Jamie Raskin, all of these, the newcomers, Jasmine Crockett, Representative Moskowitz, these new members, Frost, he's amazing. I mean, they're all great. There's not a weak link in the chain. And, of course, Jamie Raskin what I really appreciated was how they would pass the ball to him. They would do their speech, and it was always excellent. And then they'd pass the ball to their chief, and he would really bring it home. because they can. I don't know how they do it though. I'm very impressed by how they keep their cool. I don't know how he, like, for example, I love Jasmine Crockett's passion, and I appreciate that she keeps it real with them. But I commend her for keeping her cool as much as she does. How do they do it? I think I don't know. I guess maybe you get used to it after a while, because it's really makes me want to vomit when I listen to them, and to only imagine sitting in the same room with them is unfathomable, especially perjury, traitor, green. So before I get going, I thank you, Jim, for your super chat. If you, as always, I appreciate, you always putting the cover charge on the table. So, and also for being a moderator in our chat room, so to keep this chat room troll free. Okay. We have a zero policy troll. We have a zero tolerant for trolls, because they bring nothing to the table, and we had a discussion about it a while back. They right wingers can stay if they know how to behave themselves, if they don't pick their nose or whatever else they do in public, because it really is kind of what they do is the internet equivalent, frankly, of passing gas in a polite company, let's say, right? They come into a room where everyone is having an adult conversation, just gathering, talking to each other like normal human beings, and then a Republican, a maggot, comes in and drops a big turd in the middle of the floor and expects everybody, then points at it. Look at the mess. Why aren't you cleaning it up? That's who they are. They make the mess, and then they cry that we're not cleaning it up fast enough. And, it's like Trump, pooping his diapers and blaming everybody for the stench. So I don't know why did I go on with that kind of metaphor, but that's what it reminds me of. They just don't know how to behave. For example, perjury, traitor, green in the hearing. What the hell is she doing with those naked pictures of Hunter Biden again? I mean, what is the point? And the fact that they all voted to allow that into the record, again, it had no relevance. It's just there to what? To denigrate? Because they're really not. I mean, who are they denigrating? They shame themselves. They're not shaming Hunter Biden. He's come clean. He's talked about his addictions, that he had, an addiction problem. And, when you're living in active addiction. I mean, if only we had Rush Limbaugh's photo. If he took photos when he went to his trips to, where did he go? He used to go to, and there was like suspicion around his trips. He would go to these these countries notorious for, child prostitution, which is not, it's child abuse. What am I saying? There's no prostitution. It's just child sex trafficking. It's child sexual assault. And so, there's a lot of speculation. Why would you go to that country? Why did you go? He would go to Cambodia and places like that, in Indonesia, and like just places that were notorious for, nobody, I guess, it was before, have a seat with the Lord and Master Chris Hansen, who used to, which I love that show, To Catch a Predator. So I wish they could have caught Rush Limbaugh. He was clearly, there's something wrong with all of them. Yes, Epstein Island, exactly, Pookie's mommy. There's something wrong with all of them. And in fact, that's one of the things that I think Jamie Raskin, one of the Democrats, mentioned in the hearing yesterday, how it was Moskowitz, when he held up the picture of Trump and Jeffrey Epstein, and reminded the Republicans that Trump's quote, out of his mouth, his literal quote was, Jeffrey Epstein likes 'em young. Okay? How does he know that? as Moskowitz pointed out. How does he know that? Of course he knows that because he hung out with them. He's seen him. He was cool with it. We have video of Trump and Epstein checking out young girls dancing on the dance floor and pointing at them like disgusting leches, like dirty old filthy creeps that they are. Right? Trump, Epstein. Anyway, so but while I look this up, actually, before I keep going, become a patron at patreon.com/TaraDevlin and check out apsradionews.com and because this show is also on APS Radio News, and Charlie's a great supporter. Charlie is the guy who he's the chief cook and bottle washer over at APS Radio News. He hosts some other independent media voices over there, and yeah, check it out. He's a great American. He also takes care of community cats and donates to the cause of taking care of the community cats here. And yeah, I mean, what more can you say except we need about 1 million more of him in general in the world. So, if only we had some more compassion. You know what I do? Actually, now that I'm saying this, I'm thinking about, because, I sit and I do my work at my computer all day, but I watch a lot of YouTube videos and everything else, right, to just keep informed. But sometimes I distract myself and I watch cat videos or whatever. I watch those To Catch a Predator videos. And because, well, when you watch one, of course, the other ones, it just starts being recommended in your feed. And I don't know what it is. I like to torture myself with the dodo videos, the videos of how, the animal gets a second chance at life and whatnot. And then there's these other videos of animals where, they're in India or in I don't even know, China, somewhere, and they're in horrible shape, like the worst shape you could ever imagine. They have made videos about it, and thankfully, compassionate people walk by and lend a hand to these poor creatures. And the last one I saw was, and I'm just saying it because I sit there with, I don't know why I'm doing this to myself, because I'm sitting there like bawling, crying, watching it. And the last one was a cat that was literally thrown out in the trash. He was in the dump, barely alive. And, somebody walks by and is like, is this creature still alive? And they get it the help it needs, but it makes me wonder about the people who walk by. How could you walk by that? How could you? How could you do that? Period. But there are all there are all types of people. And I remind myself, yes, of course people walk by a cat like that in such distress and horror. Have some fucking compassion. But they walk by people who are like that. So, this is where we live. And I think that we have to, and maybe one day when they look back, when anthropologists of the future look back and they scour these videos, and they will, as we know, we've talked about it before. If let's say if the Roman Empire, if they had video back in the Roman Empire, we would all watch, we instead of having just the glimpses that we get, of course we would scour and we would devour these videos, and they will just to figure out what were we like back then. And maybe by then, I hope that people would have evolved a bit more to understand that really compassion is strength. It's not weakness. And we stick together, we win. That's how it has to be. There's no reason to leave anybody behind. And it comes down to, what is the meaning of life? You all right? What's the meaning of life? Another thing I want to talk about tonight, we'll play some videos from the hearing, of course, because it was just epic, and Hunter Biden was great. I love that he trolled these filthy fascists and played them for the clowns that they are. And then they continued to clown themselves. But, the other thing is I wanted to talk about how, Nikki Haley. They keep talking about in the corporate media that, Nikki Haley, because Chris Christie dropped out of this Republicon clown show. And DeSantis and Nikki Haley had a debate, which was nothing but zingers. That's all they do, is they give zingers, and Ron DeSantis shakes his head like a fucking puppet. I don't know what's up. What is that? There's something not right with him. He reminds me of, he's very creepy. Just the whole, and the slack jaw, the way it's like, and just the horror of him. But one of the things that they're battling over is Nikki Haley said something. She denied it yet again. I mean, this is who she is. She's a nothing person. She's whatever you want her to be for the moment, whoever, depending on who she's talking to. And she said something about, she denied saying that the retirement age in the United States is too low. Yeah, we have it too good here, guys. Did you know that? We have it too good. Now, it's not a mistake that's all Republicans have for America in general. All they have, that's what they promise. They promise to make your lives worse. They promise that you're going to work harder, longer, and for less pay, and worse working conditions. That they promise your children they're going to have it worse than you did. Just like we have it worse now. Just like women now, young women have less rights than women than their mothers did, let's say, right? Young women today have less rights than their mothers enjoyed. Their mothers could go and they had, despite having sometimes to weed through a bunch of freaks who wanted women to die in back alleys, they still had the ability to go and have get the health care they needed. So they didn't have to flee their state or have some kind of, or to carry a fetus that wasn't viable to term, to add on to the trauma on top of trauma. They didn't have to have a filthy Republican, nose sticking in between them and their doctors. And it's the whole thing is disgusting. And whatever, they suck. So, and everything. We know that that criminalizing abortion does not reduce the abortion rate. All it does is make the procedure unsafe, and it kills women. I mean, what's so hard about that? But they don't care. They don't care. They want to make your lives worse. And they make it worse in every way, too. Not just financially, they make it worse. They make it worse spiritually, morally, in the way of decency. They make everything worse. They like when people are at each other's throats. They want you to struggle and die. And what have I said all along? Just, go. We know what the end game is. It is the complete destruction of democracy. It is rolling back. It's not just rolling back the New Deal. It's not just rolling back the progressive era. It's rolling back the American Revolution. Back to the system the founders overthrew, where the rich run and rule, and everybody else knows their place. And then the rich get to pass on their ill-gotten gain that they ride everybody else to the bank, unfettered by pesky government. And we await our rewards in heaven while we toil in the fields in shitty working conditions. And, we just don't pester our betters for anything. And don't expect government to do anything because, they've destroyed government. This is the way it is. If you're sick, you go to the church. Maybe they'll give you some lunch. But for the day, they get you through the day. But then you got to get out there on the street and sell apples or something, right? And like they did in the old, Cockney London town, right? That's what they want, Charles Dickens time. And this is what it's how quickly we forget, And I keep thinking about back when there was this famous, speaking of abortion, there's this famous poster of a woman who had died in a hotel room, of a botched back alley abortion. And that picture was iconic. I don't have it handy at this time. You might remember it. You could Google it. It's a very disturbing photo. But this photo became a kind of a rallying cry for women back when abortion was illegal, when women were fighting for full bodily autonomy. And I was thinking today, because Trump was going on and saying, yes, he terminated, Roe v. Wade, nobody's ever seen. That's who he is. He's a dirtbag. Hold on, here he is.
For 54 years, they were trying to get Roe v. Wade terminated, and I did it. And I'm proud to have done it.
You did it?
They wanted to get it back, right? You wouldn't be having that.
You wouldn't be having that.
Was going to get that done, but me.
Yeah. We celebrate that.
We did it, and we did something that was a miracle.
We celebrate sending women into back alley abortions. We celebrate the fact that women aren't free. We celebrate oppression. We celebrate death. We celebrate the needless death of women and anybody else, whatever. The reason I brought up that photo is because that's going to happen again. It will happen again. And if it hasn't, I'm sure it has happened. We've maybe not even seen the photo or heard the tale, because those who can flee their states, like Kay Cox, I think her name was, right? Kate Cox. She had to flee. She lived in Texas, and she fled the state. But she could, because she could afford it. Many people can't afford it. So what are they going to do? They can't take off work, right? They can't get the time off. The way that the Republicans throw up barriers for all these years, throw up these obstacles to abortion, you notice that women still get abortions. They do what they have to do. And the fact that they're these assholes talk about how abortion, Democrats want abortion. They want post-birth abortion, which is all bullshit, of course. And they want no limits on abortion. Well, yeah, you know why? Because it's none of our fucking business. And if a woman needs an abortion late in the pregnancy, that's usually because there's something very wrong with her being able to carry the pregnancy to term, or there's something wrong with the pregnancy itself, with the fetus. And that's why that women have late-term abortions, and it's none of our fucking business. We don't get to dictate that, to tell people 15 weeks, as if every pregnancy is just smooth sailing, when being pregnant was the primary cause of death for women for thousands of years. So, forever and ever. Until recently. And now Republicans, what they're doing is, you stay tuned. Stay tuned. There will be women found in hotel rooms and the same shit that we went through back, before abortion was legal. I don't know what the hell is, the Democrats, maybe they're starting to catch up a little bit with the fight, getting the fight back or something, and the other, the corporate media always talks about how the message, Democrats are bad at messaging. Yes, they are. And their message doesn't get out. Well, that's because, help them get the message out, right? They don't help them. All we hear, I mean, for real, all day, all effing day, Trump, 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 Trump. I mean, I was glad when they started bombing someplace or whatever the hell, because they fucking changed the topic. All right? And I'm only saying that facetiously, but you know what I'm saying? I mean, can we get a minute without this goddamn scumbag parasite? Can we get a minute? Jesus Christ, right? Every minute. I mean, I bet you we turn on the TV right now. We should have a game. We should all take bets. How long until we hear the name? The parasite's name. All right, I guess, okay, I'm showing him too. But just because I'm not sure. I mean, should I not show him? He's a parasite. He's the pimple on the ass of the body politic. Well, I wish that was only, it was just the pimple on the ass. He's the cancer on the scum. On the cancer on the scum of the body politic. He's the symptom of everything that's wrong. So, we'll talk about, and they all suck, they all suck. They all kiss his ass. It was great to hear Jamie Raskin go on and talk about you're indebted to a con man. You're in league with a con man. He's a goddamn con man. Everybody knows it. I wonder if they know. Some of them don't know it. Like watching the hearing, I don't know. What's wrong with Paul Gosar? Does he have some kind of illness? Does he have like Parkinson's or something? Not that, whatever. He's just a disgusting, horrible person. I'm not but that's not because of his weird shaky head. I mean, even his own family hates his guts. So, yeah. That says a lot. When your own family comes out, it's like, could you imagine? Your own family comes out. The ones who know you the best. They lived with you. They grew up with you. They know you. They seen you, in your pajamas, in your highest and your lowest moments. And they hate you. They know what you are. They say, no, you don't want him to be your representative. He's a horrible person. He's unfit. He's a liar. He's a clown. He's a fascist. He's a Nazi. He's a racist. You got to really work hard. I mean, they have no shame. So, okay, what was we were all over the place. That's okay though, right? This is a Tarabuster. I see the chat room is hopping and popping. Come on over to youtube.com/cfachannel/Tarabuster to hang out with the greatest people in the greatest chat room in American history. I have a new audio interface. I didn't use it yet. Apparently, I have to plug it in and fix it. It has like sound effects on it where it could do an echo. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. All right, where do I begin? Where to begin? Well, I guess we could start. Let me see. Here, let's start here with Nikki Haley. So I guess just a preview of what I had on deck tonight. If you have any other requests, just put it in the chat. We could talk about it. I have a little bit of the Hunter Biden hearing. Well, it's the Oversight Committee, actually. And then we have the Mobs for Liberty dum-dum who was arrested for shoplifting. That's a good one. And what else do I have on my dance card? Then we have mobs. Oh yeah, the well, I was going to talk a little bit about the assassination comment, but that'll probably be mixed in. And then the Florida bans the dictionary. Believe it or not. This is where we live. We live in a world where Republicans have banned the dictionary. You know, because they love freedom. They're all about freedom. They want you to be free. Oh, and the other thing I wanted to bring up was, well, the Nikki Haley Social Security, but also in that, I didn't watch the whole debate because I wanted to keep my dinner down. But Nikki Haley wanted to she directed people to DeSantisLies.com. So she has a website there about his lies. And one of the lies, and we'll go through some of the lies that she says are lies or whatever. And what I found interesting is that one of them is, of course, assuring Republicans that she is as hateful against the trans community as anybody. You know, she's just as hateful as Ron DeSantis. And when he says that she's not a hate-mongering, trans-bashing bully bitch, he's lying. You know, she wants the Republicans to rest assured that she also will kick down on the less than 1% of the population that are trans, and stick her big, filthy, disgusting Republican nose into a family's issue, right? But you know, if you have a child that is trans, and you know, that's none of your business. That's the family's business. They deal with it. Let them deal with it. They don't need you up their ass. They don't need no filthy Republican trying to, you know, inflict their manias on a family they know nothing about. You know nothing about the child. Who knows about the child? You know, the Republicans are all about parents' rights, right? All about the parental rights, meaning the right to hate gay people. That's what it is. It's always about somebody's out with them. Notice, you know? It's the Republicans. It's always someone is always on the out. Right? That's what they do. Because they have nothing, and then we have the receipts. So let's really get into it, instead of just me saying it. You know, like that's nothing. Like that could be simply my opinion, but we have the proof. And I hope if you're new here at the channel, like and subscribe, tell your friends, bring your friends, hang out in the greatest chat room in American history. But, you know, we bring the receipts here. So hang out and, you know, stick around. Stick around. We like the comments. You know, when I'm saying that, I'm hearing Trump. You know, he likes to talk in the royal we. We love you. Oh, because recently, this is just an aside. This is why I need a daily show at a set time. It never stops, you know. I wish you could. I got the memberships going on YouTube. They're not fully, I don't think they haven't been fully approved. I had to submit them. So then YouTube has to approve them. So there will be levels to the YouTube. If you're not comfortable using Patreon, you could become a member here at YouTube at different levels. 4 levels, Little Booty Boo at the $2.99 level. Then there's like a $5.99. That's the Ray level, Francis Jr. level, and the producer level, which would be $14.99. All right. What do you think? And there'll be, like, you know, little emojis and shit I'll make. We'll put some, and you guys could give me your requests. If you want an emoji, a specific emoji, you know, just tell me. We'll make it. All right. What was I saying? God damn it. This is what happens. I need a daily show at a set time. I said, what was the thing I was going to say? Oh, fuck. Went out of my head. That's what happens. It was really good, too. All right. Well, let's start with. Oh, it was so good. There was a point. We'll get back to it. It'll probably come to me when I stop thinking about Nikki Haley and. Oh, God. Somebody in the chat, get me a refresher. Booty boot. All right. Let's see. Let me see. Where do we begin? Let's start with one of the moderates, right? This is what they always say about Nancy Mace. She's a moderate. Or supposedly, right? In the Republican Party. What the fuck is it? Jasmine Crockett. Blah, blah, blah. I'm looking for it. Trump rolls back. Blah, blah. Beep, beep, beep. Come on, where is it? Do I not have it? This sucks. Oh my God. Where do I begin? Let me see. Let me Google. Yeah. Let's see. Nancy Mace. I wanted to talk about her because I wanted to start with her because she's the one that was like. Here we go. I found it.
Chairman Comer. First of all, my first question is who brought Hunter Biden to be here today? That's my first question. Second question, you are the epitome of white privilege, coming into the Oversight Committee, spitting in our face, ignoring a congressional subpoena to be deposed. What are you afraid of? You have no balls to come up here. And
Mr. Chairman, point of inquiry.
Mr. Chairman.
He's sitting right there. He's sitting right. You have no balls. That's the moderate. You're the epitome of white privilege. It's just like I always say, Republicans, they want to grab the mantle of the oppressed while being the oppressor. And they're going to talk about white privilege now? When I thought white privilege never existed. I thought it didn't exist. Oh, it only exists when Republicans want to use it and twist it into into a weapon. They don't actually want to have a discussion about white privilege. You have no balls. Right, Jim on the chat says, didn't she see the pictures that Perjury Trader Green submitted to the congressional record? Perjury Trader Green she's a very sick woman, as we know. I mean, she's really obsessed with Hunter Biden's balls. She is obsessed with, just like Republicans are. They have to work out their manias. Her predecessors, they wanted to see Bill Clinton's penis. They wanted it described down to the detail in their Star report. That was, Just As I Like Beer was involved with that. Being shoved onto the Supreme Court, onto this illegitimate Supreme Court. That's his thank you note. Note. What am I saying? Note. Thank you. It's a thank you for his service to the destruction of the American experiment. You have no balls. And so that might trigger the Republicans, but Hunter Biden he's a grown-ass man. You have no balls. You're the ones that have no balls, honey. He's sitting right there. You don't want to depose him publicly. He said he'll go under oath in public. But he doesn't want the Republicans to lie, which is what they do. That's what they do. He's 100% correct. This whole thing, the other thing that is so disgusting is that he would not even be sitting there if his name wasn't Hunter Biden. We all see what's going on. the same filthy fascists that cry about the weaponization of government when government is doing its job. When the weaponization of government, they're asking, let's say, what was, they talk about IRS targeting conservatives. That never happened. But, you know, they didn't, it was these teabagger groups that felt like they were being picked on when they wanted to get their tax exempt status because the person had to ask them some questions. You know, they just couldn't waltz in and get tax exempt status for their shitty, filthy, America-hating group. And you love how these Republicans, they're so independent, right? They're so free of this government. The government is small. I'm from the government. I'm here to help. I want to shrink it and drown it. But first, give me tax-exempt status. Right? I want to drown it. I want to drown that government that the founders fought a revolution to create and entrust to us. I want to dunk it. I want to punch it. I want to make it small. I want to kick it. I want to kick it down so it can't get in the way of the oligarchy that we are rebuilding. The intergenerational aristocracy that we're rebuilding. But they want, so that's why the IRS, they were picking on us because they asked us questions on our forms. How dare they? And of course, you know, because they're professional victims, the Republicans, these Republicans, they weren't denied. Some of the groups weren't denied tax-exempt status. And then when they did the numbers and they because everybody has to stop and we all have to address their bullshit constantly. We can't move forward because we always got to put out some fire that these filthy fascists are lighting for no reason other than to cry victim, you know. So when it was when they looked through the books, it was actually liberal groups that were denied tax exempt status, not the right winger groups. They got more of their stupid, filthy, America-hating groups tax-exempt status than the liberal groups did. But you didn't hear the liberal groups whining, did you? Right? You didn't hear them crying. I'm being picked on. They're so fucking picked on all the time. They're so put upon. Aren't they? When government doesn't work for them, right? If it works for anybody but them, if they, I don't need, what do they do for me? You know, government, they're like Goldilocks. The size of government is just right only when it serves them, in the way it serves them, or so they think, even though it all serves them. But they just don't like black people. That's what it comes down to. They don't want to share with people who are different. Right? That's it. They don't like trans people. They don't like anybody different. Now trans people are less than 1% of the population, but they're the cause. They're so many all over the country. There are boys becoming girls. You know, a boy. You know, like as if a child walks into their parents' bedroom and says, "Mommy," you know, at 2. I'm a girl, or I want to change my sex or gender. And they're like, okay, let's do it. As if which is something that never happens. Let's do it. Okay, you're now, having a gender surgery. And as if, but Republicans, it's everything about them. They're very infantile, and they're very focused on your pee-pee, like an infant is. You know, infants are real pee-pee focused. They see they got a pee-pee. They're like, it's very fascinating to them. You notice, I mean, that's who they are. But most people grow out of that. You grow up. You become an adult. You learn to adult. You know your limitations. You know the boundaries of decency. You know how that, for example, you don't hold up naked revenge porn of somebody in a committee hearing because what are you doing? You're creating... How is that even relevant? It makes no sense. They were debating the filthy, this fake ass hearing after Hunter Biden left. They were debating his subpoena, him defying a subpoena, and perjury trader Green submits nude photos from him that were stolen off of his laptop. That she submits them into the congressional record. For what? For what reason? What point is she trying to make? There is no... I mean, they so degrade everything they involve themselves in. I mean, everything. Everywhere they go, these people have issues. Okay, let's continue.
If the gentlelady wants to hear from Hunter Biden, we can hear from him right now, Mr. Chairman. Let's take a vote and hear from Hunter Biden. What are you afraid of?
Listen to her. See, there she goes, claiming the mantle of oppression again. Are women allowed to speak? As if, like, that's why people are like, excuse me? It's they pick and choose. Now she wants to grab the mantle of being oppressed female, when it has nothing to do with that. It's just you're acting like a fool. You're acting a fool. You think like what like he has no balls. This is a hearing. This is a committee hearing. He's sitting right there. These people are fools. And isn't she the one that was talking about how she was like having a quickie with her husband or something, and that's why she was late? And then, or something like that. She was giving some speech to a bunch of freaks. And then she's the one, she also was walking around with the scarlet letter, obviously because she never read the book. She didn't know the scarlet letter meant she was an adulterer. She thinks it just means that you're being picked on. You're being a victim. You're a professional victim. But shh, nobody tell her. Don't tell her otherwise. Shh, don't tell Republicans. They'll never read the book. They'll never get they don't have that intellectual curiosity.
If the gentlelady wants to hear from Hunter Biden, we can hear from him right now, Mr. Chairman. Let's take a vote and hear from Hunter Biden. What are you afraid of?
Hold on.
Order.
Are women allowed
to speak in here or no? Are women allowed to speak in here? You keep interrupting me.
I'll interrupt the chairman. I don't know that he's a lady.
Because you're a woman. That's why we're interrupting you.
I think that Hunter Biden should be arrested right here, right now, and go straight to jail. Our nation is founded on the rule of law.
Come on.
And the premise that the law applies to...
It applies to us equally, except for, they don't see the irony, of course. The rules apply. The laws are for everyone, except what? Except Trump. These are the ones who they say nothing. It doesn't apply to all of the Republicans who defied subpoenas. There's Hunter Biden. He's sitting right there. I'm sorry he ruined your little clown show for Fox News by sitting there, by showing up. He's ready to testify. All you got to do is swear him in right in front of the cameras. But they have no balls. They don't. want to expose the complete emptiness of their scam. Everybody who isn't a moron can see right through them. They're morons. They're idiots. This is why they have to work so hard to come up with some kind of scandal. It's all to serve Donald Trump, the con man. So, and I've said it for years, too. It was a matter of time that the Republican Party just devolved into a complete con job. Because they are a party of grifters. They have nothing. Everything is a lie. You know, from trickle down to the Laffer curve to everything that they put forward, that tax cuts pay for themselves, all the bullshit, Obamacare, right? Death panels, they have great plans for everybody. All their plans suck. All they do is take the plans and the policies that Democrats pass in spite of them, and they ruin it. They make it worse with their shitty ideas. Like when Obama was in office and we were on the precipice of the second Republican Great Depression in 100 years because of Republican policies, because of their kiss up, kick down, trickle down bullshit. And what happened? You know, Obama was always he always wanted to reach across the aisle with this naivete, which I hate to say. I don't know, what was it? Hoping that they're gonna all of a sudden want to have a functioning government, functioning democracy, that they would all of a sudden just sincerely participate in the business of legislating and running a democracy. When the entire thing is a clown show. It's always been a clown show. I don't know how anybody votes for these clowns. They have no respect. Like Lauren Boebert, you know, we'll not get into the whole thing, but, you know, she had her husband arrested. Everywhere they go, they're just clowns. They don't know how to behave. They're not fit. Apparently, Lauren Boebert's husband, and, you know, they're having this messy divorce. I guess it can't hurt. I mean, it can't help that she's out there, you know, jerking some guy off in a theater in front of God and everybody, while telling a pregnant lady behind her while she's vaping, "Oh, you're a miserable bitch. Or you have no life. You're miserable." I mean, this is who they are. Could you imagine Democrats acting like that? AOC acting like that? Going to a show and being like, "You're miserable. You have no life." Her vaping, showing some strange dude grabbing her breasts while she's putting her hand in his crotch. Could you imagine what the Republicans, what Fox News would do? It would never happen. That's why they would say shit about it, of course. I mean, they would never stop talking. I'm talking about Lauren Boebert, excuse me. They say nothing about her. AOC can't, cross the street. She couldn't cross against the goddamn green at a crosswalk without the filthy fascist up her ass about it, right? But Lauren Boebert basically acts like a high school slut. No offense to high school sluts. I don't know. That's what she acts like. And she's clearly unfit. She'd only passed her damn GED weeks before she was sworn into Congress. On the fourth try. They're fools. She's unfit. Her husband was arrested for indecent exposure, exposing himself to minors. Their children are monsters that terrorize the neighborhood. We have the 911 calls. Her neighbors hate her. Her neighbors, they are at war because she and the rest, her whole family are a bunch of, they're just trash. They're fucking trash garbage people. Trailer trader trash. And the kids, now she's going to be a 36-year-old grandmother. What else do you think is going to happen? Oh, but they love Jesus, though. You know, she doesn't spend a minute with her damn sons, and they're out there roaming the streets on their ATVs, terrorizing the neighborhood, flipping off the neighbors when they're told to slow down. And then the drunken-ass father comes out and starts vandalizing their mailboxes. I mean, this is who could you imagine any Democrat behaving like that? Could you imagine what the corporate media, what Fox News would do? What would Fox News do? I mean, AOC danced in college. I didn't see the big scandal, but they were like, oh, look, you know, she's dancing. She's a young woman in college dancing on a rooftop. Okay. Where's the scandal? That's supposed to be the big scandal. And then they say nothing about Lauren Boebert at her antics at the Beetlejuice show, which is a kid's thing, okay? It's like not exactly, you know, it's a family-friendly kind of experience, except when you look over to your right and there's your congresswoman giving somebody a hand job and vaping, dancing, vaping, and people saying like, "Can you calm down, bitch? Can you stop with your antics?" And she's just like, don't you know who I am?" She tells the pregnant woman that you're miserable. The pregnant woman who asks her to stop vaping, she shouldn't be vaping in the first place. It's not even whether there's a pregnant woman there or not. But, you know, she's so pro-life and pro-Jesus and all. And then they kick her ass out, and she's flipping off the ushers, telling them, "Don't you know who I am?" I mean, who the fuck votes for these people? Could you imagine if AOC acted like that? Would you think she would get the vote? Would she be, you know, supported by the Democratic Party? No way. No way. It would not happen. She wouldn't be the candidate. But rules for thee. Republican, it's okay if you're a Republican. That's the way it is. You know, what if Barack Obama said he could assassinate somebody? I mean, basically, Trump said that Joe Biden can assassinate him, and there's nothing that can be done about it. If anybody, you know, legally and peaceful, let's just hypothetically, if anybody needed legally and peacefully, you know, to be removed legally and peacefully by the president, they would be the con man. Because he's the threat. He's a domestic terrorist threat to this country, who has no business anywhere near the halls of power. He is a wannabe dictator. Oh, I know, he's rolling it back. Who are you gonna believe? You know that Hitler, as you guys know, I'm a little bit of a historian. I mean, a history buff. I'm not a historian. I'm a history buff. And but because Republicans like to take things out of context and everything. Of course, they get their history from memes, you know, from most of the quotes that they share with each other. They're all spurious quotes, and they think that they're historians that way. They're scholars. They went to meme university, half of them, more than half, really, but. Hitler would go when he was in the 10 years of sometimes winning seats in the Reichstag, sometimes losing seats in the Reichstag, and the German people were like, many people thought he was a clown. And we've discussed this before, how there our contemporary reports. There's that video series, The Abyss, talking about that had all these contemporary letters and whatnot. And one of them stood out was the Jewish businessman talking about how he voted for Hitler because Hitler was going to make the economy great again and he was going to settle things down. And right? I mean, it sounds familiar, right? And so for that 10 years that Hitler was they tried the violent coup, and basically he really didn't have the book thrown at him. He only got months in jail. He could have been in jail for 20 years, which is what should have happened. And in fact, that's why this country, I find, it's very nerve-wracking because Merrick the Mild, he's unfit. He should be gone. There should be somebody with balls as the Attorney General, that somebody in the Justice Department that wants to, prosecute. Why did it take so long to take these January 6th traitors, to bring justice to these effing traitors and traitor Trump? But all that 10 years that Hitler tried the inside game, tried to destroy democracy from the inside, he would go to different places. The reason they named themselves the National Socialists is because their primary rival were the Social Democrats and the Communists, and they were trying to get the unions to support Hitler, like the wolf in sheep's clothing that they were. And so, if anything, and in fact, I heard an actual historian talking about how the Nazis were, because the Republicans like to say the Nazis are socialists because they named themselves the Democrat, the National Socialists, but they were as socialist as the Democratic People's Republic of North Korea is a democratic republic, and they named themselves that to attract, the common worker. But this historian explained it like this, saying that it's very easy when you look at it, they weren't socialists, they were racial socialists, everything for the Aryans, and everybody else can go die. And especially if you don't know your place. So, but the thing is, Hitler would go around and he would speak to all these different groups. He would go into manufacturing plants, or he would go and speak to workers who were unionized, and he would sound like a union booster. And it's it was a scam to get power. They knew what they were doing. They knew what they had to do. The fact that the Republicans want to take quotes out of Hitler's mouth as if everything he said was sincere, and it somehow proves that, we shouldn't have universal health care or something like that, which is what they do. The Republicans will say, well, Hitler, that's the first stage to Nazism is universal health care. But meanwhile, they're out there, literal Nazis, supporting the Republican agenda. So it's the whole thing is a show. They are putting on a show for their dupes, and they denigrate, they insult anybody. They're an insult to the women's movement when she's talking about, are women allowed to speak in here? When if we actually wanted a conversation about misogyny or patriarchy, You think they would have they would sincerely step up to the table and have that sincere conversation? No, they want to take the mantle of the oppressed. So they can justify everything and basically denigrate everything. Justify all their horrible behavior and denigrate the change that we need.
Chairman
But to
Comer.
say that he has no balls, it's pretty incredible when he's sitting right there. I don't know if they realize, but I'm sure the assholes who watch Fox News, it doesn't matter because they're in their silo and they're not going to hear the reality. They're not going to hear that, they basically are fools, that they made fools of themselves. All they're going to hear is Biden crime family, which is such a joke. The Biden crime family. The thing about Joe Biden is that he's been in public service for over 40 years. So if he's a crime family, he's done a shit job at it. That's for sure. But, look at their standard bearer. It's all a show for their dumbasses. And it's pretty goddamn pathetic, but it really highlights the fact that they count on the stupidity of the people who vote for them. And that in itself will never let them down. They know that the idiots that vote for them, they're looking for a show. They're looking for the red meat. They didn't expect Hunter Biden to show up. So that put a monkey wrench in them. I don't know if they realize how stupid they look saying Hunter Biden has no balls, and there he is. He won't show up, but there he is. And then when they say, the Democrats say, let's take a show of hands. Who wants to hear from Hunter Biden? Right now, let's swear him in. And no Republicans raise their hand, but then they all vote to put a naked picture of him into the congressional record, which is, it's just vile. This is a man in recovery who has the courage to discuss his active addiction, that he was an addict, that he's in recovery, that he made bad choices in his addicted state, that he has made restitution. And in fact, he went to court in California today about these tax evasion or whatnot. He paid his back taxes. He's paid it. So it's just all feels like, weaponization of the government. And that's what it is. It is they give away the game all the time, as we know. It's like the immigration thing when one of these idiots came out and said, of course I'm not going to do anything about immigration. Sometimes they say the quiet part out loud. They're like, of course I'm not going. I'm not going to give Joe Biden a win. They want to, they can't go after Joe Biden, so they're going after Hunter Biden, who is a private citizen. He never had a job in the White House. He was never an advisor to his father, like Jared Kushner or Ivanka, who got their, cheap, tacky Chinese patents and $2 billion from the Saudis. So the hypocrisy is boundless. Here's the Lincoln Project put together these clips of it. It was good.
So seriously, is this a joke?
Let me tell you why nobody wants to talk to y'all behind closed doors, because y'all lie. That's just the bottom line. You have done it thus far in this investigation. You have done it this far as it relates to this committee.
Here is the subpoena to Representative Scott Perry, who did not comply. I'd like to enter this into the record. Here is the subpoena to Mark Meadows. I'd like to enter this into the record, who did not comply.
In every single hearing, y'all spin. I don't know how y'all are still standing right now, because you should be quite dizzy from all the spinning that you're constantly doing when it comes to spinning the truth.
You guys have been taken over by an absolute con man. And now you're acting like members of a religious cult who don't even remember how you got in the first place.
Showing dick pics in this committee room.
Here is the subpoena to Jim Jordan, who did not comply with a lawful subpoena. I'd like to enter that into the record. Here is the subpoena to Mo Brooks, who did not comply. I'd like to enter that into the record.
We are here because my colleagues on the other side of the aisle have no positive agenda to run on. They have not accomplished one thing in their year in the majority to improve the lives of the people around this country.
But instead, you want to play games because you found out that it was your leader that decided that he wanted to propagate an insurrection on our country. So don't tell me that you care about the Constitution, because you don't.
Here is the subpoena to Mr. Biggs, who did not comply. I'd like to enter that into the record. And here's the subpoena to Mr. McCarthy, who did not comply. I'd like to enter that into the record.
Like, how dumb do you think the American people are that you would seek to hold someone in contempt when you are 608 days, 15 hours, 21 minutes, and 47 seconds out of compliance of your own subpoena?
I think it's really important to remember that when the word hypocrisy is thrown around by some of our friends on the other side of the aisle.
And Donald Trump converted the presidency into an instrument for self-enrichment. He raked in millions of dollars from the most corrupt governments on earth.
So getting to the truth was never their actual goal.
Yep, that's it. And they look, they're such fools sitting up there. They are, I don't know, it's just, to me, it seems so obvious. And it's always shocking how there are, I can't believe how Americans fall for it, how some Americans fall for it. But I think it's not that they fall for it. They like they like what the Republicans are peddling. They like the hate. They agree with the hate and their fake religiosity, their fake, love of Jesus. They hate Jesus. If Jesus came back, they crucify him again as woke. Jesus was too woke for them. I mean, what would Jesus do with Hunter Biden? Would he mock Hunter Biden? Or would he congratulate him for trying to make trying to get out of the depths of active addiction and turn his life around? They have no compassion, of course. That's your compassionate conservatism. They mock somebody's addiction, right? But then they'll tell us how it's a fentanyl crisis and opioid epidemic and... Yeah, well, they don't give a shit. Go die. Go. They want to cut your lifelines. They need you to just simply die so they don't have to worry about you. Forget universal health care. Forget all of the things that actually promote life. They got no time for that. That's too woke. They're too worried about, I don't know, somebody's gender-affirming care. It's just they are sickening, and they have nothing. They offer nothing, and that's why it's so, and like I'm saying, it's just shocking to me how how anybody votes for them. And that's why I brought up Lauren Boebert. How do you vote for that? Colorado? Don't you have any dignity? Same thing with perjury trader Green. How? Aren't you embarrassed for yourselves? How do you send somebody to Congress like that? Oh, they just like that she's horrible. They like that part. She needs to hurt the people that need hurting, like Trump. He's not hurting the people he needs to be hurting. That's the famous line. Oh, my God. And here's, speaking of Trump, so let's see. Well, there's so many things. We were going on about, let's stay on topic for a minute. I'm saying it to myself because I always go around and round. But it's all connected, though. Yes, Hunter Biden. Look, so this was a website. I mean, many news outlets reported that it was a clown show. So, but here you could see this is a right winger. The way that they were spinning it was pretty fascinating. Nancy Mace, I think. Look, he's like, red alert. I think Hunter Biden should be arrested right here, right now, and go to jail. As if he's so strong. How strong of her. She looked like an idiot. He's sitting right there. And thank you, Matt M. on the chat. I've been sober 37 years. I don't think Inc. could go through... Wait. I don't think I could go through what those assholes, I'm ad-libbing, are doing to Biden without a black Russian extra ice. I understand. Me too. I'm in recovery too. I have double-digit recovery myself. Not as many years as you do. Congratulations. Wow. But I don't, this is stress. And then in fact, that's what he said, which made me feel for him even more. Because he said that they want to kill me. They want me to relapse. They want me to die of my addiction. They want me to die from this disease. So it will, because they know it will crush my father, and it will ruin his presidency. He won't be able to recover from it because he has feelings. He's a human being. That's one thing you could say about Joe Biden, and it makes me, honestly, I am, I'm not going to have to hold my nose and vote for Joe Biden. I'm going to proudly vote for Joe Biden. Have I gotten everything I want from him? No. Am I frustrated with Democrats? Yeah, sometimes, of course. But I'm pleasantly surprised that Joe Biden he's really gotten a lot done. And I really think that he's going to go down in history in the future. When we're all gone, he will be, his presidency will be remembered as a pivotal one. And he's going to, and like all like all presidents, I should say, once they're out of office, history is kinder to them. Their approval ratings go up. They always talk about his approval rating. It's not the fucking, okay, excuse my language. I'm sorry. But his approval ratings are low. And I'm saying it again, hope, you guys understand. But they're low because of our media, our silos of information. We have, and I'll say it again, we have one media that just keeps going on about how everything sucks. That's the fascist right wing, that's Fox News. And then the other so-called liberal media going on about how Joe Biden's approval ratings are low. So what do you think is going to happen? There are people they're just low information voters. They're like, I don't know. They keep asking these assholes. I'm so sick of it. They go to Iowa. They're going to the caucuses. They're like, I don't know. Ron DeSantis or Nikki Haley. I'm not sure. I'm going to think about it. Are you kidding me? Like, what do they offer you? I don't know. She gave a couple of zingers at the debate, and I like those zingers. She got some zingers in there. These are, they know what they're dealing with. The American people, some people, they're not into politics, okay? And they wear that as a badge of honor. They think that somehow makes them better than everybody. Oh, I don't pay attention to politics. As if that is some kind of moral superior high ground. Oh, they all suck. They're all crooks. That's what we hear, right? But that's the cry of the lazy and the ill-informed. And this is how we get in the boat that we're in. You know, the Bertolt Brecht quote, the worst illiterate is the political illiterate. Doesn't hear, doesn't know, doesn't, they pound their chest. I'll find it. And they say, with pride, I'm just paraphrasing. Let's see, Bertolt Brecht. I should get this as my wallpaper here on the computer. Brecht, the worst illiterate. Yes, here we go. The worst illiterate is the political illiterate. He doesn't hear, doesn't speak, nor participate in the political events. He doesn't know the cost of life, the price of the bean, of the fish, of the flour, of the rent, of the shoes, and of the medicine. All depends on political decisions. The political illiterate is so stupid that he is proud and swells his chest, saying that he hates politics. The imbecile doesn't know that from his political ignorance is born the prostitute, the abandoned child, and the worst thieves of all, the bad politician, corrupted and flunky of the national and multinational companies. Boom. Drop the mic. All right, and this was when was this? What year? Jesus Christ. I don't even know. It doesn't have a year on there. But there you go. That was Bertolt Brecht lived in when did he die? In 1956, 1998 to 1956. Born in Germany. So, yeah. That's who they're talking to, the worst illiterates, the political illiterates, and they're not even informing them. That's the problem. They're just telling them that other people don't like Joe Biden, that here's another poll. That doesn't do anything. That doesn't move the needle. That doesn't add anything to the conversation. Does it? Except it's usually like, yeah, I don't like them either. There's a social contagion to it. And, because that's the way people are. They want to be. We are wired to be in community. That's why people, don't want to upset the apple cart. That's why there are cults. That's why there's a maggot cult. People want to be accepted. It's in our DNA. Because we couldn't survive otherwise, especially when we were, crawling out of the primordial ooze. We still do need each other. That's how we're made. Babies die if they're not held. The worst torture you can do to somebody is separate them from other people. That's why I can't stand everything that Republicans stand on. They stand on bullshit. They stand on inhumanity. Of course we need each other. There's no rugged individual. There's never been one in our entire lives. In the history of the human race, there's never been a rugged individual. Everybody needs everybody. Even the person that thinks, I did it myself. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. They did it in the society that others created, or there's an infrastructure around them, or not, unless they're living in the woods like the Unabomber. So there you go. I don't see Republicans moving to the woods, going to a desert island. I wish they would. Really. You're so put upon by sharing society with everybody else, then move. Go to a desert island. That's what I don't understand about these billionaires, too. They want all these, I do understand. They want all the benefits of civilization. They want none of the responsibilities, like Trump. He's a parasite. That's what he's a con man. He's a parasite. Back in the first Gilded Age, the working people understood who their enemies were, who they were up against. They understood that the robber barons were riding them to the bank. and they understood the language. It's not the working person that's the parasite. It's the bloated tick that's attached to our body politic, just sucking out all the profit and the nutrients for itself. When a cell in a body takes all the resources and the nutrients, that's called cancer, as it kills the rest of the body. So I'm not saying everybody, we're not talking. See, this is why I hate Republicans. They're like, commie, you're a commie. It's not about communism. It's about regulating capitalism so we can all have a decent life. How much money does fucking Elon Musk need? We're going to give it to him. Now, how long is it going to, we all see the movies about the mad supervillain. How long, how many movies we got to see to not take a clue, right? I always say, what's stopping? There will come a time where some billionaire will want to put some nuclear warhead on the top of their fucking dick-shaped missiles that go nowhere. Why not, right? They need to feel safe. Second Amendment. But anyway, I'm going all over the place. What were we talking about? Everything and nothing? No, we're not talking about nothing. We're talking about everything. The political illiterates. And that's what I'm saying about, it drives me up a wall. Well, why can't Joe Biden's break through? How is it that Trump is neck and neck with all the 91 indictments and 2 impeachments and an insurrection, and he promises to be a dictator and a convicted rapist? Why? Because why don't we hear about the Chips and Science Act? Why don't anybody know about that? Do you ever see any stories on that on the corporate media? Ever see the stories about how manufacturing, the investing, we had I had a chart last show that investing in manufacturing, that's going up. That basically because it's not investing, the money that is being spent in building factories and whatnot. That's all because of the Chips and Science Act. That Infrastructure Week is no longer a laugh line, right? That's Joe Biden. Why aren't we seeing more ribbon cutting and more stories about how the Republicans vote against these things, but then they show up, then they boast about it? They boast about the money coming to their district, even though after they vote against it. Why isn't that on the corporate media, right? No, we just get polls how these low information voters don't like Biden. They just don't like him. He's too old. That's all they hear. And on Fox News, all they hear is, he's too old, and, Biden crime fan. They hear everything sucks. Except now, I don't know if you've noticed, Trump is taking credit for Biden's economy. He's like, it's all because of me. Let me show you. Here's a. And
you had gasoline selling for less than $2.
Bullshit.
And now you have it at $5, $6, $7, and even $8.
That is a lie.
A gallon.
But in the same interview, he went on saying that the economy is running on it's still running on the fumes of what we did, of what the Trump scums did. Which is complete bullshit. Trump left office with less jobs. He's a worse record than Herbert Hoover. He's the first president since Hoover to leave office with creating less jobs than when he came in. And it wasn't just the pandemic. And he's talking about gas being $2 a gallon. That's not true. It never hit $2 a gallon. It went down because of the pandemic. I mean, they pick and choose, right? They're saying, it was bad because of the pandemic. But that, everything that went wrong in the Trump debacle was because of the pandemic. It's not true. He was doing shitty before that, thanks to his kiss up, kick down tax cut. That's all he did in 4 years was pass this bill that funneled more money into the hands of the rich and made income disparity and upward immobility worse than it was. Joe Biden is reversing that. Joe Biden is putting money in people's pockets, even though the Republicans keep standing in his way. It would be better. It would be much better. We would be further along without Republicans, standing athwart our progress, yelling stop. And, he's doing what he can. Student loans would be forgiven. Student loan debt. You know what a boost to the economy that would be? That's an investment in all of us. So they do what they can. He wanted $35 insulin for everybody, not just people on Medicare. Republicans stopped that. But, he starts with Medicare, Medicaid. Because you can't, this is who they are. They have nothing. They offer nothing. They make it worse. They want it to be worse. You realize they're in court. Republicans are in court now trying to make it so that the progress that Joe Biden finally made it, or whatever, they passed legislation in one of the infrastructure bills that Medicaid negotiates the prices for drug prices, or the costs, I should say. You know what I'm saying? And that was something that George W. Bush stuck us with. And, because they love the free market and all. And of course, I'm saying that facetiously because they can't compete. They're such the masters of the universe. They need to rig everything in their favor and screw us all. Like Trump, he wants to inflate the size of his apartment when he wants a loan, and then he wants to deflate the size when he wants to when he has to pay his share. Right now, because he wants a free ride. They all do. They want to ride us all to the bank. And and that's what I was going to say earlier when it slipped my mind that Obama when we were trying to prevent the second Republican Great Depression in 100 years, and Obama was reaching across the aisle and pulling back a stump. He was, he had all of the Democratic legislation in the bill, the rescue plan, that was working, from the ground up, building the economy from the ground up. And he said, okay, Republicans, give me your ideas too. We're going to put these in the bill. Everybody's going to work together, all Republican ideas, Democratic ideas, and policies. It's not Republicans have nothing. They don't have ideas. They have ideology. They're not trying to make anything work. They're trying to undermine everything so they can roll back the American Revolution. And what these right-wingers put in the rescue package was the tax cuts for the rich. And what do you think happened? It's the worst. It's the thing that slowed down the recovery. So they have nothing, you see? That's all they have. That's the definition of ideologues. They're not trying to make things work. They're undermining everything, and they're tax cuts, deregulation. Like it's so childish. Like Trump. Remember when he proposed for every regulation and every new regulation there has to be two regulations have to be removed because it's childish, it's babyish. That's not how the real world works. Why are you trying to undermine the country? Well, this is what why am I asking that question? Right, I know the answer. And speaking of, actually, let's go into what's her face, Nikki Haley. So at this so-called debate, it was just it's like they should have Triumph the insult comic dog. It would be more entertaining.
Exploding. You're going to see the fact that he has switched his policies multiple times.
She says she's always supported school choice, and she failed to deliver. She blames other people. Leadership is about getting things done. Stop making excuses. Make it happen.
What's up with that head?
If leadership's about getting things done, how did you blow through $150 million in your campaign and you were down in the polls?
Down in the polls. Zingity zing. Zing, zing, zing. Here's some more debate.
Live from Drake University in Des Moines, Iowa. This
Give me
is the
some
CNN
of those zingers.
Republican presidential debate.
I don't need health care.
Donald Trump's
I just
running
need
to pursue
zingers.
his issues. Nikki Haley's running to pursue her donors' issues. I'm running to pursue your issues.
So really,
what we're going to
my
do
issues?
is rather than have him...
I don't have issues with trans people. I don't have issues with people reading books. What issues? You're not pursuing my issues or anybody else. You're pursuing your own issues. You got some fucking issues. Exactly. Sage on the chat. Florida is banning the dictionary. That's not even a joke. What a disgrace to America these people are. What a disgrace. They are literally banning the dictionary. That's not a I'm not punking you. That's for real. Where is this? Banning the dictionary. Yeah. From Common Dreams, it says, no, this is not a parody. Florida school districts ban dictionaries under DeSantis' law. Webster's Dictionary and Thesaurus and The Diary of a Young Girl by Anne Frank are among the books that the Escambia County School District has yanked from shelves. Dictionaries and encyclopedias are among, and can you believe this? Are among the more than 2,800 books. 2,800 books that Florida School District has pulled from the library to comply with DeSantis's bill that he signed last year. Judd Legum, author of the Popular Information newsletter, reported Wednesday that Escambia County School District said that the books that have been banned pending further investigation may violate HB 1069, which gives residents the right to demand the removal of any library book that depicts or describes sexual conduct. Because they have fucking issues. Whether or not the book is pornographic. Because they want you to be ashamed of yourself. You know, they want you to want to kill yourself if you're gay or trans. They want you to grow up as fucked up as they are. They want you to grow up not having normal relationships, normal sexual relationships. They want you to think that everything is dirty, dirty, dirty. like in the friggin' Duggar family. This is where you get all the issues. You get people growing up with big issues, sexual issues, where they hate themselves and they act out in inappropriate ways. Instead of teaching kids or whatever, I'm not saying, it shouldn't be a shame. You shouldn't be heaping shame on people, on children. No child is going to be taking, these books out of the library either. And the thing that they're afraid of is, in fact, what they're doing is making the books that they're banning more popular. Then the kids want to read it because it's banned, and they can get it. But what they're doing is just they're just inflicting their own manias on these kids, these poor kids that I don't know, it's just very sick. They're sick people. Yeah, the Florida School District has removed Merriam-Webster's Dictionary for students from library shelves. Florida led the United States in book bans during the 2022-23 school year, with PEN America documenting 1,972 instances of bans across 37 districts. In a state with approximately 70 districts, this means that over half of all Florida school districts experienced book banning activity. Penguin, Penn, Random House, and a coalition of authors joined parents and students filing a lawsuit against Escambia County in federal court, arguing that the mass removal of books from schools violates the plaintiff's right to free speech and equal protection under the law. And that's the truth, because they don't want a kid who is gay, and maybe he or she is just coming to terms and realizing, oh my God, I'm gay. They don't want them to be able to see themselves in any book, which might be, in fact, a lifeline to them. They want them to want to kill themselves. They want them to feel isolated and ashamed and, in the closet like they are. They want them to be in the closet, and then they will be, they'll get their Republican Party card. They'll join the Republican Party. Really, this is who they are. They're fucked up. And they think, what do they think? It's unbelievable. Land of the free, home of the brave, and you're afraid of a book. Now anybody tell me any society that's banned books. Give me an example of a successful society that's banned books. Anybody have any? Let me look it up, actually. Let's see. Let's ask the AI. Are there any societies that have banned, am I saying this correctly? Banned books. Are there any successful societies? Are there any successful societies that have banned books? Let's see. Okay. Well, it says yes, there have been societies that have banned books. Well, no, I'm saying successful. I hate this fucking AI. No, I'm saying successful societies. Okay. Well, it's saying, yes, there have been instances of successful societies banning books. For example, the United States. Oh my God. That's amazing. Similarly, while many other countries have also banned books for reasons such as being obscene, anti-religious, or offensive, the practice of banning books is a form of censorship, often motivated by political, religious, moral, or commercial reasons. While the specific books and reasons for banning them vary, the history of book bans reflects evolving societal fears, of course, and concerns over the content of the literature. How do book bans affect freedom of speech? A book ban can have significant impacts on freedom of speech. In a society, when books are banned, it restricts access to certain ideas and information. Well, you know, that's the Republican way. These are the same people who are crying that they're being suppressed. You know, they're free speech absolutists when it comes to saying the N-word. Because they feel so oppressed, not being able to say the N-word without getting some pushback, being canceled. They're like, oh, I'm getting canceled. But they're saying nothing. You know, they're banning things that are saying things. They're banning books that are saying things. They're trying to, you know, see things, see life through somebody else's eyes, perhaps, when all they're doing is saying, you know, I want to say anti-Semitic shit on Twitter without having any consequences. All right, well, let's continue.
Go and tell you all these lies. You can go to DeSantisLies.com.
Oh, okay.
It will cover the fact that he's only mad about the donors because the donors used to be with him, but they're no longer with him now.
Zinger!
And that's because he's upset about the fact that his campaign is exploding.
He's upset about donors. We're not upset about donors because donors are normal part of any oligarchy. We like donors. We want more money in politics. You know, we like donors. We don't even bring it up that there's something that's torrid about donors. We like the legal bribes built right into the system because soon enough we will have a full-on definition of a intergenerational aristocracy. And then we're going to have forget the donors. There'll be no elections, but there'll be plenty of bribes. We're just getting all used to the bribes. Legal bribes built right into the system, and we're going that way. So you better just embrace it, serfs. Citizens. I got some zingers for you, though. Vote for me. I got some zingers. Oh, not that one. I want this. That's my zinger. I have some zingers here. I got some sound effects. Let's see. Let's play it.
It will cover the fact that he's only mad about the donors because the donors used to be with him, but they're no longer with him now. And that's because he's upset about the fact that his campaign is exploding.
The difference between Nikki Haley and me, I listened to all that litany of stuff. I debated the governor of California, Gavin Newsom. I thought he lied a lot. Nikki Haley gives him a run for his money. And
meanwhile, we saw, I thought he lied a lot. He wiped the fucking floor with you, DeSantis. That's the gong. He got the gong show gong. He's more like this, though. I like my sound effects. I need to use them more.
And be more liberal than Gavin Newsom is.
I wish Donald Trump was up here on this stage. He's the one that I'm running against. He's the one that I wish would be here. He needs to be defending his record.
Do not trust Nikki Haley with illegal immigration. That's like having the fox guard the hen house. She's weak on immigration. She's bankrolled by people who want open borders. And she said there shouldn't be a limit on immigration. You should work with corporate CEOs.
We have to realize my parents came here legally. They came the right way 50 years ago. They put in the time, they put in the price. They are offended by what's happening on the border. But let me tell you why Ukraine should matter. First of all, I don't think we should give cash to any country, friend or foe, because you can't follow it, you can't hold it accountable. I don't think we need to put troops on the ground, and Ukrainians want to win this themselves. But dictators always do what they say they're going to do.
This is the UN way of thinking, that we're somehow globalists and we have unlimited resources to do. You know, I think here's the problem. You can take the ambassador out of the United Nations, but you can't take the United Nations out of the ambassador.
Do you believe Governor Haley is sufficiently pro-life?
I think she's been confused on the issue. I think she's trying to speak to different groups with different things. But when she says things like, pro-lifers need to stop talking about throwing women in jail, that's a trope. No one I've ever met thinks that that's something that's appropriate.
These fellas don't know how to talk about abortion. I've said over and over again, the Democrats put fear in women on abortion, and Republicans have used judgment. And the tropes that you want to talk about, you keep saying,
judgment.
Where is anybody talking about putting a woman in jail
Nikki?
or giving her...
What does that fucking mean? The Democrats put fear. Yeah, we do fear. Women fear having to flee their own states to, get an abortion because maybe they want to have a pregnancy in the future. They don't want to become sterile by carrying a fetus that's dead so they can give birth through a dead fetus so they please you somehow. They please their big, filthy Republican goddamn... freedom lovers who are sitting in your office in the doctor's office telling you what to do. Oh, Democrats put fear and Republicans are putting judgment. What?
Where is anybody talking about putting a woman in jail or giving her the death penalty? South Carolina. There is legislation right now that would put a woman in jail if she got an abortion.
Thank you, Governor.
That's why I say that.
What do you admit?
Wait, what did she say? She's got
she's
got a lot of words. She's got the best words. She's got words. She's got a lot of words.
Different groups with different things. But when she says things like pro-lifers need to stop talking about throwing women in jail, that's a trope. No one I've ever met thinks that that's something that's appropriate.
These fellas don't know how to talk about abortion. I've said over and over again, the Democrats put fear in women on abortion, and Republicans have used judgment. And the
Republicans have used judgment? Really? Republicans have destroyed women's rights from sea to shining sea. That's judgment? Oh, yeah. Oh, well, I guess that's true. They judge you like they're sitting on a fucking throne. They judge you like they know your life. They certainly do judge. That's true. They judge you from afar. They have all the answers for your life, because freedom. Freedom means, to Republicans, freedom is the freedom to be as racist as they want without consequences. I mean, no one's stopping them from being racist now. They just don't want the consequences. They don't want others to have a reaction to it. And, that's freedom to them. They're free. Then if they forget universal health care, higher education, living wages, retirement security, you're not free if you can't say the N-word. Right? They love the they just, as far as freedom, it's freedom for me, not for thee. If you want to have the freedom to live your authentic life, forget it. Forget about it. Freedom to read a book that might have a gay character in it, forget about it. Oh, that's children reading it. Yes, because children should be ashamed, right? Children should live in a world where gay people are shameful, right? Not in a world, because they want to make more Republicans. That's it. And Nikki Haley has a lot of words, but she's got nothing. I don't understand that. Like, who is voting for her? Who? But it doesn't matter. It's the zinger. Who's got the good? She got a good zinger. And that's all that matters. Zingers and words. I don't know. What is Nikki Haley? What does she ever say that means anything? She's like Hitler. Yes, I said it. Nikki Haley is Hitler. No, she's like Hitler. Well, they all are in a way. The way they say whatever they think others want them to say, depending on who they're saying it to. Yes. So let's go to, she suggests we go to DeSantis lies. Let's go. Look at my little booty boo. Booty boo. Hi, Buddha. Hi, booty. You're very pretty. And I got Francis here. Francis is in the house. All right. Let's go to DeSantisLies.com. It's a world of lies. I'm spinning and spinning. Welcome to the world of lies. Honey, we've been fucking living there my whole life. I've been seeing you Republicans in a world of lies. Welcome to the world of lies. Let's see. Let's just get to the lie of, okay, let's see, transgender bathrooms. Let's go. Lie. DeSantis falsely claims that Haley wants to allow transgender individuals to use the bathroom of their choosing. Truth. Haley has always said that boys should use boys' bathrooms and girls should use girls' bathrooms. Well, guess what, bitch? Trans girls are girls. Right? And maybe if they go into the boys' bathroom, they're going to get their asses beat. I would think maybe it's the other way, too. Trans boys are boys, so they use the boys' bathroom, because if they walk into the girls' bathroom, the girls are going to go, eek, get out. There's a boy in here. And notice this was never a problem. It's not a problem. It's not a fucking problem. They made it a problem. Because the more we become a more compassionate, more perfect union, the more we expand humanity, the more people's minds open and we are educated into the true diversity in the human experience, the more the Republicans lose their shit. In 2016, Haley argued that South Carolina didn't need a bathroom bill because there was little demand for it. And when necessary, individuals could use the private bathroom. So they have to hold it until they can find a single stall. And meaning, fuck them. It's like, what is this? This is a big issue, everybody. This is a real big issue that everybody is all up in arms. Because if it's not saying the N-word without any repercussions or somebody going to the bathroom, yes, the pee-pee police. Right, Twisted Nerves painting. Someone call the pee-pee police. Oh, they're here. They're already here. The pee-pee police. They're with us. They never leave. They want to know what's up with the pee-pee. What's your pee-pee doing? What is it? They want you to describe your pee-pee. They want to see it. They want to check it. Is it in the appropriate clothing? Is it attired correctly? Does it have the appropriate accoutrement according to them? Is it in the correct bathroom? What about, intersexed people? You know, those people exist. There are intersex people. That's why there are no, it's this gender asshole. Yeah. Trust the science. There's only two bullshit. Trust the science. There's a wide diversity in the human experience. I want you to rest assured that this is Nikki Haley. Nikki Haley wants you to rest assured that she hates trans people too. That she will make trans people's lives miserable too. She wants them to be afraid, you know, when they go to the mall and they have to use the restroom. They're like, that they feel anxiety and stress, and they're afraid that if they go into the mall, there's some bitch, some Republicon maggot bitch is gonna, you know, call security. And we've all seen the TikTok videos of these. And in fact, they call security on you know, cis people thinking they're trans. This is how shitty they are. This is how horrible Republicans are. They can't just go take a shit and leave everybody alone, right? They can't just like mind their own damn business. They gotta be dicks about everything. Oh, the pee-pee police. Yeah, but like Jesus, you know, Jesus gave a shit. The way he talked about pee-pees incessantly, you know, that's he would care who's in the bathroom. Genders changing surgeries. Here's another fucking nothing that they should really leave. Get their stinking Republican big government noses out of people's business. DeSantis falsely claims that Nikki Haley supports gender-changing surgery for minors, which doesn't happen. I can't take these people. Haley opposes gender-changing surgeries and puberty blockers for minors. Fuck you with the puberty blockers. That's not your business, bitch. That's called gender-affirming care. There's no surgeries, but there are puberty blockers because, and it's not like a kid walks in, Mommy, I want a puberty blocker. This is a decision that a family takes with a doctor, medical professionals, mental health professionals, the child. It's not an overnight decision that Nikki Haley gets to make. But there she is, making it for you. You can't do it. She wants your child to have problems when they grow up. If a child is trans and they're born trans, and there's some way that they might have an easier life, they get to pass better. So they're not always in danger whenever they go out. Because they got to worry, they're going to run into some Republican that's like, are you in the right bathroom? Because they weren't allowed puberty blockers. So they have to struggle, and they have to have more gender dysphoria. And maybe they want to kill themselves. Because these filthy pricks, these filthy fascists want them to do what they want them to do. They want them just to kill themselves. That's it. Problem solved. But guess what? Trans people have always been here. They always will be here. And they ain't going away. And and Republicans, if they're so concerned, why don't they ask the medical professionals? But they don't. Because if they do, they'll learn that they don't know what the F they're talking about, and they'd shut their filthy mouths and get on with the business of the coup. With the other things that they're working on, like destroying America. Like putting a tax-cheating, draft-dodging, wannabe dictator con man in the halls of power again. But then I went to this website.
The former governor is also addressed.
Shut up. This is Nikki Haley's YouTube channel, and I was, sometimes I read the comments, and she's, I wrote, you see my comment at the top. Don't worry, Republicans. Know nothing. Nikki hates the GOP targeted minority group du jour, just like the rest of you. Phew. You can all relax now and continue spreading hate against less than 1% of the population / a group you all know shit all about, but lack the decency / maturity to keep your ignorant Republican noses out of a family's business. But anyway, I was perusing. This is all bullshit, too. So here's somebody that writes, honestly, I'm part of the LGBT plus community, but I agree a child should never have to undergo such an operation. It's dangerous. And then you have all of these idiots. Same here. I don't want to see 13-year-olds in lines to get their genitals messed up. What is it with these Republicans that they always have to say things like, I'm a Democrat, or I used to be in the Democrat Party and now I'm not, and I see how great Republicans are now. I see how much we don't need freedom, and we should be reading those books, and we shouldn't ever retire, and we should never have health care as a right. I see it now. I see the light. But give me a break. Anybody who's actually in the LGBTQ plus community knows that there is no gender-affirming surgery for children or minors. It doesn't happen. For one thing, they medically, it wouldn't happen because you're still growing. You have to wait till you grow up to get the gender confirmation surgery. That's why the puberty blockers help, with the gender dysphoria, while you're waiting till your body get to the right place where you can have the fucking surgery and be who you are without some filthy fascist Republican. I'm a gay man as well, and I agree. Nikki Haley would finally unite America. Who wants to guess these are phony-ass bot accounts? Like, look, come on. Look at this. Amy Davis 1514 channel. That looks like Amy Davis? Is some African-American... That's Amy Davis, everybody. Who wrote that Nikki Haley would finally unite America. Anybody believe that? If you believe that, you must be a Republican. Amy Davis, just a kid. Just a kid. That's the channel description. Just some kid. Some kid with darker pigment that goes on the Nikki Haley page and says, Nikki Haley would finally unite America. As all kids do. You know what kids are doing right now, all the kids. Same here. Here she is again, the Amy Davis account, just a kid. Nikki Haley, same here. Nikki, all these gays are commenting. I didn't know there were so many gays on the Nikki Haley page that hated trans people. There were so many gays on the Nikki Haley page that didn't understand that gender-affirming surgeries don't happen to minors. It's just kind of baffling. But same here. Nikki has an outstanding amount of LGBTQ plus supporters, says the Amy Davis Just a Kid account. And she gives us the freedom to do what we need to do while focusing on what needs to be done for the welfare of our country. If that don't sound like a fucking Nikki Haley comment, I don't know what does. I am Nikki Haley, and I will do what needs to be done while focusing on what needs to be done. I will let you do what needs to be doed while focusing on what needs to dundee-do. Dundee-do. I will do it up, do it good. My name is Nikki Haley, and I will give you the freedom to do what you need to do, while I will do what needs to done for the welfare of our country. Here's another one below. I am a gay man as well, and I agree. Isn't it funny? I love how this is. I mean, fucking. Are you kidding me? It's so clear that these are bot accounts. You know, you could buy comments. You could buy comments. You could buy likes. You could buy the appearance of a vibrant and active social media site. I'll bet you dollars to donuts. That's what Nikki's done. These are not real accounts. Who the hell writes this? I am honestly, I am part of the LGBTQ plus community. And a child should never have to undergo such an operation. It's dangerous. She might as well say, there should be no post-birth abortions. I don't agree with something that never exists and is just an absolute and outright lie. It's unbelievable. But no. I'm sorry. It's absolutely believable. Because that's who they are. They like to give that kiss up, kiss down, class war, the war against trans people, as if the LGBTQ plus community would say that. I mean, I know there are some, of course, because humans are humans, but no, there's not a whole bunch of gays hanging out on the Nikki fucking Haley site. I hate to tell you, Nikki. Oh my! And here, this Amy Davis account, just a kid. Amy Davis, just a kid. Just a kid. Let's remind everybody, this is supposed to be Amy Davis. Amy Davis, just a kid. I want to track down Amy Davis and get a quote. I want a quote from Amy Davis.
The former governor is also
an asshole. Let's see. Amy Davis says, and another thing, in a lot of cases right now, these people become lifelong patients, money symbol to big pharma. Oh, yes, Amy, that is such a pertinent... I mean, what? First Lady President Nikki, blessings, respect. Oh, my God. I hate these people legally and peacefully. I hate them. And okay, yeah, you know why, too? They have nothing. They offer nothing but hate, stupidity. They hate America. Let me see. Let's keep going with Nikki, because she also wants to cut our socialist security. She wants us to. She wants to bring back everything that sucks. That's Republicon. That should be their Their rallying cry. We want everything that sucks back. Okay, here's Nikki Haley talking about Social Security.
Governor Haley, you want to raise the retirement age for younger Americans, but you have not said what that age should be. Should voters in their 20s plan on working until they're 70?
First of all, he hasn't answered the fact that he voted to raise the retirement age to 73 different times. He can call me whatever name and be demeaning as much as he wants. It
Demeaning.
doesn't change
You
the
notice
fact
how
that
this
Ron
is Republican women are talking about everything's demeaning to us when we want to, you know, pull out the woman card. We won't pull a fucking hair for women, but it's demeaning. They demean the fight for women's autonomy and equality by doing that. They know what they're doing, though.
Because Ron's losing. Everybody in the country sees it for what it is. So what I'll tell you is, yes, we're going to be responsible with it. I said it's too low.
Responsible. Like, we're going to let everybody do what they're going to do, and I'm going to do what I'm going to do. 2024. That's my slogan. Everybody does what they want to do, while I do everything I want to do. And that's it. That's it. That's the way it's going to be. Right. I thought you were taking Judy Garland's name in vain, Matt, on the chat. Yes, Nikki Haley is right up there with Judy Garland for us gays. Exactly. I love Judy. You know that. I'm a big Judy fan. I love Judy. In fact, do I have any Judy? I have some... I have Judy at Carnegie Hall on my wall over there. I love Judy. Always did. Always will. Hope to see her one day over the rainbow. You know what I'm saying? If there is. But, yeah, right. That's the way they act on that chat. Like she's the new Judy Garland. I'm a Nikki Haley gay. And I'm going to let everybody do what they want to do. She will give us freedom, Matt. She's going to give us freedom. She's going to give it to us. Well, she does. Well, she fucking will give it to us. She's going to she's going to put it in real hard and break it off short.
At those in their 20s. We have to go and start looking at what we can do to get out of this. We want to make sure that everybody who was promised gets it, but we also want to make sure our kids have something when they get it too.
They have to get it when they get it. They're going to have something when they get it. We're going to make sure they're going to have it when they get it by giving it to no one. We're going to cut it. We want the American people the ones who were promised, they can get it, okay? Because they're going to die. But the older ones, fuck them. They're going to be living in a world of hurt. In a world that we only dreamed of. Actually, we've been there before. It's called the Dark Ages. And they're going to get it when they're going to get it. And I'm going to give it to them. And I am Nikki Haley. We're all going to give it to them. We want everything to suck. Because all our solutions, you see, did you notice that all our solutions to the problems that we create as Republicans are things that make everything suck more? It's never making anybody who has just like 20 zeros on their bank account, like they'll never spend it in a million lifetimes. And they got that way in our society that allowed, you know, the funneling of money, the taxes, the tax structure is so fucked up that it makes the rich richer and the working class the more malleable working poor. But we will never ask them to maybe take a zero off that bank account and return it into the general welfare so everybody can retire one day, you know, in this life, in this beautiful shining city on a hill where the hill was is a hill of bodies of all the rich stepping on your neck, but we won't complain because I'm giving them trans people to hate. There's nothing to complain about. you get to say, no, can I see your pee-pee before you step into this stall? I'm not sharing a bathroom with somebody who has a pee-pee I don't approve of. The people, the 20-year-olds, what do you care if you're 50, if you're 60, you're just about to get Social Security? What do you care about some 20-year-olds? Fuck them, right? Let's put everybody against each other. Why should they have the promises of a decent retirement? You know, the New Deal, the new spiel. So long ago. Now we're everybody for themselves. Fuck them. Let your 20-year-olds, no, they don't get to lie around in the social safety net hammock. Even though, you notice that there's, first of all, there is no problem with Social Security. Okay? The Republicans make the problem. And then they give you the solution, which is shit. No matter what, whatever their solution is, it's not going to benefit you. Whatever their solution is only gonna make the rich richer, and it's gonna hurt the working people of this country. So Social Security is not going bankrupt. Wait, hold on. I had a whole thing on it here. But in the meantime, here's some more. Here's Nikki Haley, because she was saying like Ron DeSantis is lying, even though he's a filthy liar too. They all want to cut Social Security. Here's her saying exactly what she said she didn't say.
Well, you've got multiple candidates on that stage that said they wouldn't touch entitlements, including Trump. And any candidate that says they're not going to touch entitlements means that they're basically going to go into office and then leave America bankrupt. Social Security is going to go bankrupt in 10 years. Medicare is going to go bankrupt in 8.
Not.
So the way we deal with it.
How many? This was in 2016. Social Security is going bankrupt in 2 years? This is when she's saying this shit. Social Security's going bankrupt in 2 years. Oh, now, it was 10 years. Now, it's 10 years again. It's going to keep going bankrupt until somebody allows us to privatize it. And so, and if someone's dumb enough. Yeah, Social Security is not going bankrupt. Let me explain. Social Security is not going bankrupt. There's the Social Security Trust Fund is the trust fund, right? That, the lockbox or whatever. But because Republicans raided Social Security back in the day, and they are, because anything to fuck you over and make the rich richer. But this trust fund is projected to be depleted in 2033. But it doesn't mean that Social Security is going bankrupt or insolvent, because unless we all die out, then that's what will happen. We'll all just be dead. But even after there is a projected depletion of this, stopgap, this trust fund, it is Social Security will be able to cover nearly 80%, let's say, if it had to cut something. So that's not bankrupt. And that's if nothing is done. You understand? Which Republicans want to do. All they want to do is make everything. They want to lie and say everything sucks, and the only thing that can be done is make you have it worse. When the only thing that needs to be done, and I hope by this time I'll probably be dead, but because I'm old, but the younger generation, they're not falling for this shit. So they will, by the time it gets to, well, I don't know, I'll be dead in 2033, but I'll be older. And if I make it, you know what I'm saying. So maybe I'll see the young people finally get a clue. They have a clue, but finally put those clues into action, which is the only thing that has to be done is raise the cap. There's a cap on Social Security taxes where after I think $125,000, you don't pay any taxes you don't pay any Social Security taxes. Maybe it has gone up. I don't know. But it's in that ballpark. I could probably look it up, but that'll take more time. And I'm looking at the time, and it's getting late. So, but it'll. That's all that has to happen. And Social Security is solvent forever and ever. And in fact, we can raise Social Security. We can make it a living retirement. It's not. It's like an insurance company. I mean, it's an insurance plan. It's barely livable. You could barely live on it. And in fact, we can get everybody raises. And isn't this like the purpose of having a functioning society? You know, so we could sit and move and like look at the fucking moon and contemplate life, and then when we're old, you know, that's what we don't have to worry. We don't have to like cut our medication in half, and we get to, you know, advance the human species. Am I making sense here? It is getting late, but so even if nothing happens, it will pay nearly 80% of what it's paying now, and it can pay full benefits for another decade. The program operates on a pay-as-you-go system and has accumulated a large trust fund reserve. So that's the reserve they're talking about, which it can draw upon to pay benefits if these filthy fascists stand in the way, yelling stop, don't do anything except make everybody's life suck more. Because that's all they got. That's all they got. Make everybody's life, make your life suck more. Don't they have any shame, right? I mean, she knows. She's got to know. She's a liar. But you notice how they dare not touch actual solutions that everybody could get behind. Raising the cap. You know, oh, not everybody, I understand. Not the sick, you know, misers who are saying that the precious, oh, I got my 1 0. I got 5,000. Well, how many zeros I got? How many zeros in a billion? The precious, I can't take 1 0 off. Because that might mean I don't have a 0 and my dick isn't, I don't know, what is it? What is it? Your dick isn't big or, and I can't, what? I mean, don't you have enough money yet? When is it enough? Right? When is it enough? I mean, if somebody collected, you know, if I started going off the rails and I had this whole house full of cats, you'd say, there's a problem here. She's hoarding cats. We need to get her help. That's a sickness, right? But when you hoard zeros on your bank account, you're given covers on Forbes magazine. And you're allowed to, you get interviewed and where you tell people, oh, it was so tough cutting all those jobs. Now I'm going to tell you. Now, I mean, who votes for Republicans? Who votes for these people? That's, you know what, it just pisses me off that these right-wingers, that these working-class right-wingers fall for this all the time. But they want their Social Security. They want Medicaid. They want Obamacare. They want health care. They vote, you know, when Trump is talking about everybody's going to get health care, it's going to be great. We could have had a great plan he was talking about when John McCain gave the thumbs down, but that's it. We could have had a great plan. You know what he said? And everybody would have been covered, and it wouldn't have cost anything, and it would have been great, and it's just the easiest deal. But that John McCain gave us the thumbs down, and that made it, we couldn't do it then. What is he promising them? He's lying to them, of course. He's picking their pockets. He's lying to them like a slithering goddamn snake. But he's promising them universal health care. They all want it. They want it. They want health care. But they don't want to share. That's the problem. There's this the Republicans, they give the perception of it's a zero-sum game, that there's only so much to go around for everybody. But as Gandhi said, there's enough for everyone's need, just not for everyone's greed. And for Nikki Haley to say, oh, we're going to have to raise the retirement age, everybody's going to have to work longer, you're going to get less, and it's going to get progressively worse for your children. That's the way they want. They want us to think of each other. Don't think about your kids. Fuck your kids. Fuck the future. F those kids. Let them go eat cake. Let them eat Advil if they're sick, or if they get to be old, who knows? Because, they'll be working until they drop, like in the old days, the good old days that Republicans pine for, in the first Gilded Age, when the what do you call it? The life expectancy for a man was 44 years old. So, working people.
Is we don't touch anyone's retirement or anyone who's been promised in, but we go to people like my kids in their 20s when they're coming into the system, and we say the rules have changed. We change.
The system has changed. We changed it. We now have billionaires and oligarchs, and we have a kiss up, kick down oligarchy. There's no more of this general welfare. Now you are on your own, booby. Like, read Charles Dickens. Get used to it. With no more of this New Deal, Fair Deal, Square Deal, Great Society shit. We got the rotten deal. We got the rotten deal for you. But guess what? We got no gays, no trans, no books, no gay books. Ain't that good? Ain't I talking real good?
Retirement age to reflect life expectancy. Instead of cost of living increases, we do it based on
except it's going to reflect life expectancy. And guess what I'm going to tell you guys right now? Life expectancy. Oh, okay, let's make it reflect life expectancy. So lower the fucking retirement age. Because life expectancy in the U.S. is going down. Because of these filthy, fascist Republican policies. Isn't that a disgrace? Life expectancy. I mean, how do you say, life expectancy in the United States has decreased. Life expectancy at birth in the United States is 78. Not going down the other way. It's getting worse. So instead of, how do you say that? Yeah, the decline is significant. Men having a life expectancy of 73 and women of 79. It is a cause for concern and has been attributed to various factors, including the impact of COVID and the disparities in healthcare. Yeah, there you go. That's what Republicans do. COVID, they they killed a lot of people needlessly for their political, games. Yeah. It used to be 78 for men, 78.8 for men, and now it is 76. Oh boy. Oh, wait. That's wrong. It's actually worse. Life expectancy at birth in the United States dropped to 76 for all, down from 78. The decline is significant. Men having a life expectancy of 73 and women of 79. Yeah. Isn't that horrible? In other countries, the United States has a lower life expectancy compared to many other countries. In 2021, the average life expectancy at birth among comparable countries exceeded that of the U.S. by 6.9% to 13.7%. The U.S. ranked 34th amongst countries in life expectancy, and its life expectancy is lower than nearly every other high-income country. Unreal, right? Well, and there she is, lying again, saying, it's got to reflect our life expectancy, everybody. We're just being fair. We're being fair to everybody who's at the top. It's not fair that they can't have that extra zero on their 10 zeros. How are they supposed to live with 9 zeros instead of 10? Huh? Did you ever think of that, you selfish bastards? Did you ever think of those selfish? But you're so selfish. Wanting to retire. Wanting to have health care. Oh, and it gets worse. She is a real piece of work, this Nikki.
We limit the benefits on the wealth.
But you notice the other thing is the crack White House, the crack corporate media moderator says nothing, doesn't interject and say, excuse me, Nikki, life expectancy in the United States is going down. Why not hit her with that zinger, right? Excuse me, Nikki, life expectancy is going down. What do you say? Well, in that case, I wonder what Nikki would say. There would be a lot of words coming out of her mouth, a lot of, disparate words that mean nothing. She does say a lot of nothing. She really does. I had this article. I can't find it. And the way it was put. Let me see if I have it. Oh, yeah. What is Nikki Haley? This was an article in the Atlantic by Mark Leibovich. And the headline is, what is Nikki Haley even talking about? That's how I feel when I listen to her. And I was glad that this person wrote that, because I'm like, when I listen to her, I'm like, what is she talking about? Like, it's just words. There's no meaning. It's just a lot of shit coming out of her mouth, and everybody's just like, oh, okay. All right, I see your point. It's like, are we being, not us, but are they being hypnotized? Is she hypnotizing them with some kind of word salad virus? She says nothing. That's what I never hear. She says nothing. She of course says nothing to whoever she's talking to, and then she rolls it back, and then she lies, and then I don't know. We need to be fair and balanced, but also, there has to be consequences. And when we have everything come together like that, you're going to see that we can have that shining city on a hill that Reagan talked about when he was over telling everybody to tear down that wall. That's what she sounds like. It's like, wait. Sounds like a sentence. Sounds, oh, I guess I should just nod. Smile and nod. Because I don't know. I don't want to look like an idiot. And I don't want to challenge her. How come he didn't challenge her? Because when I heard this, I was like, well, life expectancy is going down, you dumb. Why didn't the crack CNN moderator say, Nikki, interviewing her, Nikki, life expectancy in the United States, shamefully, is going down. So what are you talking about? It should match life expectancy. If that's what you want, then we should lower the retirement age, not raise it. Are you out of your mind, lady? Are you out of your mind, lady? Do you know where you're going to? Do you know the things that life is showing you, Nikki? Do you know? Huh? Why? Do you know, Nikki?
Retirement age to reflect life expectancy instead of
it
cost
should
of living
go down. It should go down. Because we're dying younger.
Into the system, and we say the rules have changed.
The rules have changed, you young people. Too bad. Life expectancy's going down. We're handing you a big shit show. But, okay, you're doomed. You're doomed.
Change retirement age to reflect life expectancy. Instead of cost of living increases, we do it based on inflation. We limit the benefits on the wealthy, and we expand Medicare Advantage plans.
See, everything she said just sucks. We limit the benefits on the wealthy, meaning turn Social Security into a means-tested program so it can be vilified and attacked and also eliminated. Eventually. And we expand Medicare Advantage, which is the privatization of Medicaid and Medicare, another scam to make the rich richer. It's everything they propose is a scam, is a way to rob you of your serenity, of your peace, of your retirement, of your peace of mind, of your decency, your humanity. And they count on your stupidity not to know it. We make Medicare Advantage better and bigger, and meaning we fucking destroy Social Security and Medicaid and Medicare. And we and what was the other thing she said? Advantage plans and benefits. We means test the program.
Wealthy, and we expand into the system.
We limit it to the wealthy because that was FDR's genius, and this is why I always advocate, and we should be advocating as normal people, as Democrats, that we need to have policies in this country that belong to everybody. Universal health care, universal higher education, universal living wages. There's a floor you can't pass through, right? This is basic income, things like that. And the retirement security, it belongs to all of us. Like Social Security belongs to all of us. It's an insurance plan for old age and illness and sickness if we get into an accident or we get sick or our parents or our guardians pass away, like Paul Ryan's. He took advantage of Social Security as a young man when his father died. Of course, he doesn't want anybody else to have the same hand up that he had. So they want to destroy it. And it's that was FDR's genius, making it belong to everybody. So no damn politician can scrap my program. And that's what he said. And they've been trying to scrap it for years. And you notice they can't scrap it by hitting it truthfully. They can't just come right out and say, we don't want you to have a decent middle-class life. We want the rich to get richer. We don't like democracy. I mean, now they're coming out more and more and saying that we want to funnel money to the top, and that what will happen then by naturally, the rich will take over and they will swallow the government. This is what happens. That's why they're doing what they're doing, making the rich richer, increasing the gap between rich and poor. They don't want any uppity working people telling people what to do. And the trade-off is what they will get for what you will get for selling out yourself and your children. You'll get the you'll get the divisive a divided country. You'll get the freedom of being as ugly and hateful as you want, because you're going to be. You need to act out your manias somewhere. Because you don't live in a decent society anymore. You live in I got mine, sucks to be you, go fucking pound sand society. And that's what they're advocating for. They call it freedom, It's like the old Tacitus quote about the Romans. They make a desert and call it peace. And actually, was that Tacitus? Now that I'm saying it, and that's the Republicans for you. They destroy it. They sell you magic beans. Let's see. They promise the moon. They can't deliver a goddamn pizza to anybody. They make a desert and call it peace. Who said that? What? Oh, well, yeah. Attributed to the Caledonian chieftain I can't say it. Calgus, in a speech by the Roman historian Tacitus. Yes. They make a desert and call it peace.
Have changed. We changed retirement age to reflect life expectancy. Instead of cost of living increases, we do it based on inflation. We limit the benefits on the wealthy, and we expand Medicare Advantage plans.
I am adamant that we privatize, make it worse for everybody. No, don't ever just, raise the cap and that's it, and we can expand. If they raised the cap, not only can we expand Medicaid, and Social Security, we can, you could have dental insurance. You could have a decent actual, universal health care plan for everybody. Retirement security. That isn't a joke. Oh, I hate these people.
What's the right age there then, Ambassador?
Well, I think we have to do the numbers. We've got to figure out what it is. But what we do know is 65 is way too low.
Yes, it's way too low because everybody's dying. So fuck them. We got to raise it. So that's why they'll never get it. Hello? Anybody home in there, CNN? All right. I can't take it anymore.
And we need to increase that. We need to do it according to...
So we need to slash and cut and smash and grab. And kill and kill and kill without mercy. As that little bitch Tara Devlin used to have to say when she was in the National Guard. She would have to say, what is the meaning of the bayonet? And the little bitch would have to say, kill without mercy. I'm having flashbacks. Why am I talking like that? Okay. Let's see. Where are you? I lost you. All right, because I have to go. It's almost, God damn it. It was another marathon. It was another tarathon. It's a tarathon. Where the hell is my YouTube channel? Are you still there, everybody? Okay, there you are. I always do this. I lose you in the shuffle. All right, my friends, listen, we have more to talk about. We'll talk about it tomorrow night, like the mobs for liberty women, I'm being nice, who got arrested for shoplifting. That'll be fun. Yeah. Other things, and more mania, more madness. Aw, thank you, Twisted Nerves Painting. Thank you for having a weekday show for us, Tara. I appreciate the extra day of therapy. Thank you. No. I thank you, Twisted Nerves. I thank you. All right, listen. Look at little Buddha. She's so good. I got little Booty Boo a new... I got it for all of them, but she kind of likes it. I gotta look this up. I ordered it. It was like it came from China. I ordered it one of these ads, which is always you're taking your identity in your hands. I think if I ordered it off of a Facebook ad, I probably shouldn't have done that. I'll probably have my identity stolen now. But it was a steam brush for cats. So you put water in it and then you plug it in. It has to be, you just charge it, and it's very nice bristles, and for them, they seem to like it. But it has steam coming out, and then it's like a little bath for them. She loves it. She absolutely loves it. And she makes her very smooth, and she rolls around, and she really loves it. She's a good girl. And it takes a lot of hair off. So all that hair that comes out in the brush don't go in my house. You know what I'm saying? So I do it. I tried to brush the others too. They're scared about it. They are scared. But they submit. Not like she does. She sees the brush now and she runs to it. She's like, give me that brush. She's almost like Nikki Haley trying to steal your Social Security. She's like, give me that. So she's Nikki Haley she's as quick as Nikki Haley is on the lies. There goes Buddha coming for the brush. I was gonna look at if there was a better one. That's all I'm trying to say. It's like a better made one, because this was kind of a piece of crap, you know. It's from China. Yeah, remember when Made in China was shorthand for shit? And Made in America was shorthand for good stuff? Let's hope Joe Biden is bringing it back. I'm still looking at this Amy Davis, supposed Amy Davis. Just a kid on the Nikki Haley, just a gay kid who happens to love Nikki Haley. Love her, and hate trans people. Who knew? There were so many. All right, listen. Is that even, Amy Davis? That's Amy Davis, everybody. Just a kid. Amy Davis 1514. Just a kid. All right. Who loves everything that Nikki does. That poor, whoever that is, for real, I feel bad. I wonder how many bot channels my face is on. You know what I mean? Because if your picture's on the internet, I'm sure you're on some bot somewhere. All right, guys, it's almost midnight. I'm tired. What am I doing up? Listen. I love you. Have I ever? Oh, now I see how everybody's leaving the channel. I lost a lot of people just the last 20 minutes. They were just like, I'm out of here. Well, it's late. So let's get back together tomorrow at 8:30-ish p.m. Eastern Standard Time. How's that sound? All right. Tell your friends, invite your friends over for some fun. And remember what I always say. We will win. It's true. Because why? We're on the right side of history. We're on the right side of decency, dignity, democracy, humanity. We stick together, we win. My name is Tara Devlin. Guys, I'll see you tomorrow night.